USAA knows dynamic duos can save the day, like superheroes and sidekicks or auto and home insurance. With USAA, you can bundle your auto and home and save up to 10%. Learn more and get a quote at USAA.com/bundle. Restrictions apply.
John!
What?
Red 7!
I don't know what Red 7 means.
Hot route!
I don't. What is hot route? Will you just go stand on the other side, please?
Down!
Come on.
Ready! Down! Set! Hut! 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 Hut!
Hit me! Booyah! That's what we call a sack lunch.
It's time for the Soonerscoop.com postgame show presented by Eskridge Lexus in Oklahoma City. Eskridge Lexus is the official travel partner of Soonerscoop.com podcasts. Now, here's your road crew, Carey, Eddie, and Bob, wrapping up all the action and reaction from this week's game.
All right, welcome back. It is great to hear that opening intro because it is football time in Oklahoma, and we just witnessed it tonight as the Sooners go out their opener. We'll talk about how we feel about what we saw tonight, but the Sooners win it handily in the end, 35-3 over Illinois State. John Mateer breaks the school record for passing yardage in debut, beating the old standard of Baker Mayfield. And
Heisman?
Calm down. No, but I mean, great night from him. I mean, just his line, 30 of 37. He did have a pick, 392 yards, 3 touchdowns passing, 1 touchdown on the ground. He was sacked 1 time on the night. And guys, I don't know if that's where you want to start, but my worries about the offensive line were...
Yeah, I mean, it's all out there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there are definitely some concerns about Oklahoma's running game. I think it heightens because of who you have coming in next week with Michigan. But I think bottom line, and George and I kind of led with this on the instant reaction that you can watch on YouTube, I think they got a quarterback.
Absolutely.
John Mateer was very, very good. And, he breaks Baker's record, obviously. George, you kind of put this out there. His stat line, and maybe just this game as a whole,
Definitely.
Very similar to what Baker Mayfield in Oklahoma did in 2015 against Akron.
Yeah, they. If you remember that game, OU's offense struggled. They only rushed for 100 yards in that game. Today, they only rushed for, I think, 103.
Yes.
Baker threw for 388 yards and a couple touchdowns. Obviously, like you guys said, Mateer threw for 392. So, yeah, there's a lot of similarities. I mean, I'm not saying that that this Oklahoma team is going to go 11-1 and play in the college football playoff.
Right.
But I do think there's something to be said of, like, there's concerns, I think rightfully so, and a large part of that is because of what we saw last year. I think it's also okay to say, okay, this thing is going to be better than it was a year ago on that side of the ball, and it's because of the quarterback, and it's also because they actually have some guys at receiver that can catch the football.
It's very impressive. And let me say this about new offensive coordinator Ben Arbuckle. He did try to run the ball. 32 rush attempts to 37 passes. So it's not like there was some imbalance. It wasn't working, but he still stuck to it. And I think that was, something that Bill Bedenbaugh needed to see. I mean, certainly the lineups changed throughout the game on the offensive line.
And it's going to change next week.
Yes, and people coming back. And I still think Derek Simmons is probably the one biggest question mark that's out there.
Yeah, I think Fasusi's going to play.
Now, we don't know about Jacob Sexton, who
he got hurt.
Banged up a knee today. But, it's I
will say, Fasusi,
great.
it should, good news is that Fasusi and Simmons both went through warm-ups, but then just did not play in the game. So that's usually an indication that,
and Simmons didn't go back inside and change or anything.
And we've kind of been told we've been told that both of them are wanting and planning to play in the Michigan game. So
yeah, if it was up to Michael Fasusi today, I was told they probably would have played him.
Yeah. So I mean, but at the same time, we're like, okay, so you're betting on the true freshman to be the savior of the offensive line, which I do want to say, and we can dive into it more. We're rewatching the game. I don't think it was that the offensive line just played terrible. Now,
certain individuals did, though.
Yes, and certain individuals got benched because they did.
And I mean, you could start probably with Eddie Pierre-Louis. I mean,
Yep.
As much as, we've talked about his potential, about his demeanor, about how he fits, it's just not clicking. And I know, Josh, he has his grades out. It's always interesting because I don't know what to say about offensive line so much because Gabe will tell me some of his frustrations, and I don't know if that's supposed to be public, but like I can tell you Eddie Pierre-Louis was a guy that he was not high on coming in, and he'd been to some practices and actually been, spending time with the offensive line, and for whatever reason, he didn't like what he was seeing, and it came to fruition today because he, like we said, he was the first guy that they really just were like, can't play him.
We'll talk to Josh more about it on Monday, but I would imagine that I think sometimes Eddie Pierre just tries to do a little too much instead of just trying to do his job. I know, like the note that Josh put with Eddie Pierre-Louis on the report card was thought he was a little out of control at times. I think he just tries to do a little too much.
Too much aggression, maybe at times.
Like just not necessarily dial it back because I don't think that's the case.
But he is still a young guy.
Yeah, he's still a young guy. And another young guy that got in that Josh gave a pretty low grade to, Ryan Foje. I mean, he came in, true freshman, and played a good chunk of the game. I mean,
he played a lot of snaps.
I think he came in early in the second quarter and played the rest of the game at right guard, and they flipped Fabechi Wiwu over to left. And Foje had some bad moments, some misses, not moving guys at times. So, and I think Josh gave him a 30 on his grade. So he's got a lot of room for improvement. But I'm also like, I kind of think that's probably their best threesome in the middle. And the one that I'm missing there is Jake Michaela. Jake Michaela replaced Troy Everett in the second half, and I thought he played pretty well.
Josh gave him a 73.
Yeah, so
that was the highest. Or did
of the offensive linemen?
Because I thought Howland, we were talking about, he was the highest.
Yes, that's
Howland
correct.
got a 70, I think.
Okay.
I thought Howland played fine. I think left tackle, they got to figure that out. Sexton going down so early was tough. But
here's my thought about Ryan Foje, and this is the same with Michael Fasusi. We knew that they were true freshmen. We knew that this wasn't going to be smooth. And yes, it was Illinois State and not Michigan, but we're going to see some growing pains out of those two guys.
Yeah.
I'm kind of the opinion you just grow with it.
I don't disagree at all.
I think you have to.
I don't know if Bill Beatabow's of that opinion, but I think that like
he's got a lot of stuff to tinker with right now.
To be fair, I think Michael Fasusi was going to start today if it were not for
the little incident,
the episode last week.
Stuff, yeah.
Do we think that we would be as disappointed with the offensive line and just the run game as a whole if we hadn't had this? And I don't know about you guys, but I had this idea that they were going to just be so much better, so much cleaner, and not necessarily that they had a bunch of penalties or anything like that. It was just they never were able to bust anything. And I think that is that a running back issue, maybe more so than an offensive line issue?
I think it's a combination because we're rewatching the game. There are several plays early in the game that Javonte Barnes just does not see the hole, and it takes one cut and he's gone. And you saw Torrey Blaylock when he was in there and healthy. He and he's also the other thing about Torrey. I said this earlier. If it's all congested in the middle, he can bounce it outside, and he's got the speed to beat guys on the edge. Well, Javonte just doesn't.
Here's the thing: I was down on the field the whole day shooting. Did you
like that?
No,
welcome to my world.
I'm like you, Eddie. Right now, I always tell you to embrace change and you fight change. And I'm telling myself, do it again. Embrace the change. It's not like sitting in a press box. You just don't get. You're so reliant on the replays in the stadium. I will say this: I do like the fact that I can empathize with the people in the stadium today because I've seen a lot of stuff about the speakers in the stadium and how they were a little shrill today. And
I didn't even notice.
You're used to it. You probably didn't notice, but there was this thing that happened a while back where they had to tell the stadium. I think they got new speakers and they were so proud of them. And they were playing over the band all the time, and that was happening tonight. And it seems like the fourth quarter thing was just a jumbled mess. They didn't really play a song. They played a song and a mashup of AC/DC.
I do have some information on that.
Okay. But let me get back just real quick. Real quick. But no, being on the side, I'll say this about watching the running backs. You see Torrey Blaylock run to space. Like when he goes into the line of scrimmage, you see where there is space on the left or the right of him or in front of him. He sticks his foot in the ground and he runs to that space. Giovanni Barnes does not do that.
As a scientist, I can tell you that Sundays are only 24 hours long. But with NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV, you get every game every Sunday all in one place. That's upwards of 30 hours of NFL in one day. How can there be 30 hours in 24 hours, you ask? I have a theory. Magic. New users get NFL Sunday Ticket for 8 payments of $34.50 per month. Sign up at NFLSundayTicket.com. Local and national games on YouTube TV. NFL Sunday Ticket for out-of-market games excludes digital-only games and commercial use. Terms and embargoes apply. Availability varies.
Introducing the new Volvo XC90 with 7-seat versatility, Google built-in, and advanced safety features for all your precious cargo. The new Volvo XC90, designed for life. Visit volvocars.com/US to learn more.
He's just kind of.
I love the kid. I think it's a great story. They stuck it out. He's a good leader in the running back room and stuff.
The other thing,
I want to see Jaden Ott. God damn it! Like, what the hell?
I don't get it. I don't. I mean, and I thought, if they hadn't played him at the end, I think we all could have been like, okay, just calm down, everybody. Yeah. He's banged up. They're gonna work him back in.
Throw him in there with 8 minutes left. Like, what's going on?
I think everyone wants to know what's going on. I think if Jim Nagy probably wants to know what's going on.
If we're sitting here next week and he doesn't play, it's going to, and they lose the game or, whatever, people are going to lose their minds on DeMarco Murray.
I only saw one above average running back tonight.
Yeah.
And I also so many people have asked me well, who's making the substitution calls? I don't know. Arbuckle kind of indicated that it's him.
And then they threw Xavier Robinson in there for a while.
Maybe it's Arbuckle making that call. I'm sure DeMarco still has his opinion and voices it. I don't know who's in charge of the running back substitutions, and I don't know what's going on with Jaden Ott. I know he missed some time with the shoulder thing, but
I don't think that
why
was
would
his
they have him
choice.
back there on kickoff return?
Yeah.
and then play him in the fourth if he wasn't healthy?
I mean, I don't think he's refusing to practice, or I haven't heard anything like that. It's just
no, he practiced all week.
It's so bizarre. I don't understand it, and I get the fans who are just continuing to bash DeMarco for his rotation choices because this is baffling. It doesn't. If he was healthy, today made no sense from a running back rotation perspective.
None, absolutely none.
And we've seen him in practice with our own eyes. He's got juice.
Yeah, there's something there. And I'm going to just kind of, I guess, it's going to make me feel better over the next 6 days. I'm going to tell myself that they're just trying to hold it off and really let him kind of debut, if you will, against Michigan. It's just a little worrisome. And I think that everything with the offensive line, it's going to probably get better. It's just a little disappointing to sit here and to think maybe they aren't where we thought that they were going to be at the start of the season.
But where are you talking about the offensive line?
Yeah.
Where did we think
we thought it was still a work in progress, but that it wouldn't be like the guys like Troy Everett would be some of the worst looking players.
Yeah, but I think we also fooled ourselves into that.
I thought that they would average more than 3.2 a carry.
Yeah, but I guess, but
does does 4 make me feel better? I don't know.
But I think it's all made up in our head. This is all just made up, right? We all just made that up in our head that they were going to just be magically better. The reality, it was always there that they weren't going to actually be just some great.
And it was the redo. I mean, it was Groundhog Day today. Jacob Sexton got hurt. Troy Everett got pushed around. Favechi Weewu was just okay.
If
Logan Howland, he was the young guy that played better than everybody.
You run the same group out there, but again, I don't think that was the original plan to just run the same group out there.
By the way, I didn't see anything.
That's what I was going to say.
I didn't see anything out of Luke Baklenko today that was okay, he's an answer.
Well, no, and there's a reason he was third string all of camp.
Sure.
He wasn't supposed to play.
They needed to get their guys out there.
Yeah.
And then maybe we have a better idea.
But even then, it's the expectation should not be high for the group.
Well, all this, experience depth that we talked about in the preseason, that's not serviceable depth at this point.
No, they got to get better. The whole product has to get better.
Stay healthy.
It was a little bit of a slow start, but I think that if we wanted to be positive, they did win, And I think that
they have a quarterback.
They have a quarterback, and I think that they have some guys at the wide receiver position. I don't know if they have a all-conference guy. I don't think that they have like a Blitnikoff type guy. Maybe Deion Burks.
I think Keontae Lewis had the biggest case for being, a standout in the
just
league.
Doesn't drop anything.
Keontae Lewis is he makes all the competitive catches, and I think that you like that. That's what they went and saw that's what they wanted when they were going into the transfer portal.
And I think we found out that Jaren Kanak can be a very good weapon for this offense.
It was fascinating. Outside of the fumble, which you can't do that, yada yada yada. But I thought he was awesome.
By the way, in the post game, I didn't know that he was standing nearby, and I asked John Mateer a question about Kanak, and he kind of snuck in, like right behind the reporters.
It was him and
to
Owen.
Listen in. Yeah, him and Owen Heineke. Look, I think there were a lot of good things that happened today. It's just we are overly fixated on the offensive line. We're overly fixated on the running back rotation because the entire world of Soonerdom is obsessed with the same thing.
And rightfully so. Like, I don't want to make it sound like, you shouldn't be worried about it. I do think that they're still better than they were last year. Again, very low bar. But I also just want to see it with Fasusi out there or Derek Simmons even. Because even I thought Logan Howland played well. And I was telling somebody that, man, if you could just get Derek Simmons back and maybe you don't get Fasusi back, which it sounds like it may be the other way around. But, like, you could flip Logan. Logan play left tackle. And you can have Derek on right. Like, I have a question. They got to get somebody. And Heath Ozida, he should have been the starting left guard today.
He will be when he gets healthy. Here's a question for you guys. Who feels better today? Oklahoma fans, Texas fans, or Clemson fans?
Who feels better out of those
about
three?
Their offense?
Oh, God.
Oklahoma.
I guess Oklahoma. I think that there is an element for the Texas fan that says, even though you played horribly today,
you played against a damn good team.
You played against a really good team, and you had the ball with 2 minutes left trying to go score to tie the game.
Yeah.
On the road.
I get all that. I don't, but I also think yes, I agree. But if you're talking about the fans, OU fans won. They won the game.
Sure.
And their quarterback threw
played
for
well.
almost 400 yards.
If you're Clemson, you probably feel the worst because you've seen
100%.
Cade Klubnik a lot.
Yeah, is this his third year starting?
And from what I saw, from what we saw
good.
walking back from the stadium, it was not good at all.
And some of it's on his receivers. He was throwing to areas and his receivers weren't where they were supposed to be.
And I think LSU might be really good.
Yeah.
That's a big boy win to go on the road and win that.
I think they could win the SEC.
I think they could win the national championship.
I think Auburn fans feel as good as OU fans do today.
Sure. 100%.
They should.
100%.
They probably feel better.
That offensive line went and whooped Baylor's ass.
Yeah, that was a good-looking offensive line.
It was. Very much. Very much so. It is what it is. It's a season opener. I know that we went in and we said that you weren't going to learn anything. I don't know if you necessarily learned anything, but positive review for Jaren, positive review for Keontae Lewis. Deion Burks getting the ball in space looks very, very good. He made an incredible catch over there on the east sideline with the one hand that, George brought it up, but that kind of sparked everything because everything had started so slowly today for OU.
I think you have to include Torrey Blaylock in that category.
Torrey Blaylock, definitely. He picked up where it sounds like he left off. You could say the same for another true freshman in Cortland Guillory on the other side of the football today.
You know who was very happy today?
Who?
Jacob Jordan Enjoyer.
Yeah, Jacob.
From the website.
That was a nice little grab.
Almost had a touchdown.
That was a nice grab.
Dude, Mateer ripped some over the
middle.
Mateer throws a very, very beautiful ball.
And here's another winner. It's not offense, but it's offense adjacent. OU's got a punt returner in Isaiah Satania.
100%.
Yep.
And maybe the best one they've had. I said since Marvin Mims, they didn't really let him return all that much. But
sure.
He's proved himself in the NFL, though.
I said the same thing to George just in terms of Satania. You can tell when he gets the ball in his hands, it's pretty electric. I think those will come from the offensive side of getting the ball in his hands, just from by way of passing.
Do you realize that 3 different tight ends made catches today?
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Did you know that
Jermichael Carter dropped a pass that was right to him?
Tight end stat for you. I think I told you this, Carey, already. I don't know if Eddie's heard this. Jaren Kanak's 90 yards receiving today, the most by an OU tight end since Braden Willis in 2022 against Kansas.
You tell me that, yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, it's
insane.
not crazy, though. I mean, we've lived this. But, yeah, like, I think that I'm definitely a little bit more open to this idea that Jaren's going to be a pretty big-time athlete in this system.
At least today that I noticed, they didn't ask him to do anything that he wouldn't be good at. Like, in terms of blocking, he had a couple of blocking
They put him on the edge a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, but, like, it wasn't anything insane. And I think when you split him out, he's a matchup problem. Like, he's quick, he's elusive, he's got good hands. Like,
he's hard to bring down.
Yeah, I think that
just has to protect the ball better.
He can certainly be a weapon.
And to be fair, I asked Ben Arbuckle about that. Like, that fumble came early. They didn't give up on him, and they kept throwing him the ball, and he didn't have that problem the rest of the day. But you're right, George. I mean, I could see him playing some slot. I could see him splitting out. He's not going to be an inline tight end, for all the snaps he's going to take.
Like Jeremiah Hall. That's what he kind of reminds me of.
Yeah, he's more of like that H-back
like
role
H-back,
that
fullback
Lincoln
type.
used.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Flowers.
I like that. I like that form of offense. I like that body style that guy brings.
I'll be interested to see if they hand him the ball a little bit. I think didn't we see a jet sweep today?
Yeah, to Burks for 12 yards is their longest run of the day.
Oh, that's incredible.
But it was a nicely designed play. They pulled the other way.
I mean, there's a lot that you could probably take out of today. I know it's probably not the popular thing to say that there was some good in the performance today. It's just not the overpowering, dominant performance that I think a lot of people, when they go, oh, this FCS Illinois State team's going to Norman.
It would have been great to sit here and be like, oh, you rushed for 300 yards today, and Jaden Ott's a dude. Like, that would have been really ideal. But I think it's also okay to sit here and be like, well, they got a quarterback. And I think if you've got a quarterback, you got a chance in just about every game. And I do think that there's going to be times where this offense struggles and doesn't move the ball. But I think that they can hang around because I do think, and we can move over, I think the defense is going to be really good again. I know they didn't have a lot of flashy plays, but they were solid today.
Give me a second here. And we'll talk about Brent Venables and the defense. But you know what else didn't happen today, which could have been predictable, is for us to be answering a bunch of questions about when does Giovanni Gibson get back.
He was suited up. But he didn't do anything in warm-ups. But he was suited up. He was suited up. That's a step in the right direction.
I didn't even notice.
Nick Anderson.
Well, you know how Brent likes to suit up the injured people. Was Eli Bowen suited up?
No.
No, but he didn't have a boot on or anything, which I thought was notable.
Yeah, but Giovanni Gibson suited up.
Unless it was a prosthetic.
My guess on Giovanni is either Temple or Auburn is when he'll play.
All right, well, I want to talk about the defense. I saw a lot of stuff from the defense today. Brent Venables calling plays for the first time. And Brent Venables had some interesting stuff in his post-game press conference, but I want to remind you guys, this is the Eskridge Lexus Podcast. They are back again for another year, thanks to the Eskridge family for always supporting the pod. They are the official. Well, I was sent this by the Eskridge family. They're very proud to be the official travel partner and sponsor of the Sooner Scoop Postgame Podcast. They're happy to send George, Eddie, and Bob in a new Lexus when on the road covering the Sooners. Check EskridgeLexus.com for the most up-to-date inventories, including all new Lexus and Lexus L certified vehicles, or to book your next service appointment. All Lexus L certified vehicles come with an unlimited mile full factory warranty with up to 6 years of coverage. L certified cars also come with 4 free services, free car washes, and use of brand new Lexus loaner vehicles while your car is in our service department. Eddie and I both know it's always great when you go into service, and even if it's a half a day thing, they offer you a certified car to drive around if you need it.
I look for reasons to go to the service department just to hang out.
You do hit a lot of stuff. And unlike other dealers, Eskridge Lexus never charges a dock fee or makes you pay for accessories that you really don't want. So go visit them, EskridgeLexus.com, or call 405-755-9000. That's 405-755-9000. And they wanted to finish their message with Boomer. So there, you have to say Sooner back if you're listening on the radio, or have your kids do it. A lot of kids out at the U40 podcast today. It was a lot of fun being out there, meeting a lot of you guys. We were happy to give away some hats, and it's always funny now when we're doing this stuff because I see the young guys as they walk up and they see Eddie and George, and they're just like, those are the YouTube stars. We like those guys.
It was awesome. That was a really fun time, and I think it was a good starting point for the tailgate on the Oval, and it's only going to get bigger from here. Like, I was genuinely surprised how many people were over there. I really did. It's kind of one of those things you don't really know, like, how many people are going to be down here that early. How many people are going to mill over there?
As it got closer to game time and people started showing up on campus, I think a lot of people went over there just to see what was going on, and what the setup was.
Watch the games that were on and stuff. So it was cool. I really appreciated that. We have the Joe Harris, the University of Oklahoma president, sat down with us for about 15 minutes. And you can watch that on Soonerscoop.com's YouTube page.
He was great. I thought we did a great job of asking questions that people wanted to ask. And, and we talked to him about Brent Venables. And
interesting answers, too, on the AD search.
Yeah.
Some of
definitely
that
makes me think they're going to be outside the box.
100%.
Yeah. Without a doubt.
It was cool, though. It was just a really cool event that I hope over the next couple of weeks gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
I'll tell you this. I'm probably going to stay at the office until 7:45 or so, and then head over there just to see what it looks like as people have finished unloading for the day. Because basically the entire outer circle.
Talking about? What do you mean?
Next Friday, go over to the North Oval.
I was like, what are you talking about? I thought you meant stay here tonight until 7:45.
No. I'm going to stay at the office next Friday until about 8 o'clock, and then I'm going to go over to the North Oval and see what because they said about 70% of the crowd had dropped off Friday night.
Cool. That's awesome. And that circle drive, it's kind of perfect for what they're trying to do. So
and Evans Hall is cool. Such a beautiful setting.
That whole area, like that North Oval in front of Evans Hall and all of that, it's just a cool area over there.
And I got to see Edward Lawrence II and Karen today.
Yeah. Parents were over there for a little bit. Haven't talked to him. I'm sure he's not happy with the offensive line, but it's a good start. Good start.
I can tell you he's not happy with Jim Traber either.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Mr. Radosevich told me how he feels about him.
He's been in the office before when Eddie wasn't here, and he has lodged those complaints to me as well.
I would say that the Radosevich family, not the biggest fans. Not the biggest fans. I mean, he came after me one time, so or a lot of times. But
I think he was probably warranted in coming after you, though.
We need to get him on the pod this year, Mr. Radosevich. I think him and my dad, Mr. Stoya, would.
Yeah, we could do that. We could probably do that. Yeah,
that'd be a lot of fun.
That could definitely happen.
I think they have a lot of the same opinions.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. One of the things we did talk to Joe Harris today was, it came out. USA Today had broke the news that Brent Venables had gone and initiated a $1 million deduction in his salary, and it would go toward revenue sharing. He keeps saying revenue sharing, and I don't think he really wanted to get into NIL because I don't know if you can technically do that. But I asked Brent about it tonight at his press conference, and he went out of his way Tuesday to talk to the fans and basically say, look, I know you want a winner. I know you're not satisfied. I understand why you're not happy. And I was like, you could have just told him you gave $1 million to make things better. But that's kind of how Brent is. He doesn't want to go around showboating, good deeds or things like that, or personal things like his wife. I mean, battling cancer, he never really wanted to make a big deal out of that or put it out in the media.
Yeah.
Just kind of keep it private. But I mean, it was kind of interesting just hearing him talk about it and his view on how it all came to be.
Yeah, I think so. And, I think that was one of those things that I don't know if he initially wanted you to ask that, but I think that he was happy that you did, if that makes sense. And for him to be able to sit up there and talk about, donating $1 million, kind of a power move. It's a good thing for the university. And, I think over the last 3 years, maybe it's the least he could have done to show his, support or belief in the program and all that kind of stuff.
Didn't lower his buyout, though, if you have to get rid of him.
Yeah. Well,
not that we wanted that.
We'll talk about that, when we have to cover that bridge or cross that bridge.
It was funny when you asked him, did that money go directly to
Did you ask for it to go to linebackers is what I asked
Yeah,
him.
that was good.
I bet he would pick rush ends.
But I do think that and we already knew this about Brent, but he desperately wants to win here.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, it's just he is so invested in this thing, and you can just feel that he genuinely pours a lot into these guys, and especially off the field as well, and it's hard not to root for him.
I don't think that you would have a good culture if those players didn't care about Brent, and likewise the other way. Like I think is not a discussion point right now. You don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. It's can they just continue to make the progress that they need to? And the good thing is, like you said, George, I think they have a good defense that you can kind of build this thing around and have an offense that is trying to catch up with them.
I just saw in this replay what I thought was the most interesting part of the night from Brent's perspective is that he brought up Peyton Bowen having such a good camp and mentioned that nobody asked him about him, so he didn't say anything about him. And I was just like, that's not how this should work, Brent. Like, you should tell us if your guys, we can't see everything. Like, but it just kind of got assumed, and probably my fault for misidentifying him and Trinae Washington, that he was having a poor camp or he wasn't doing well. And I mean, I screwed up and wrote something on the board about him being hurt. It's like nobody was sitting there saying, man, Peyton Bowen's having a great camp. And usually you get that from the head coach, but he started tonight and he did some good things.
Yeah, he did. I thought he played great, Peyton Bowen.
Do you just not listen when people talk about Peyton Bowen?
No, I am. I'm trying to write this other story.
Because he was talking to you when he was answering that question.
Well,
he was staring at you.
He's talking to me like several times. Like wasn't even there was that one. I felt.
See,
like
I'm not
he was
going after George here.
No.
He was literally staring at you while he was answering that question.
That one, but then the other one later on when someone asked him about, like when the offense was struggling early in the game, like did you have flashbacks to last year?
Who tweeted out?
Yeah, he was like, who tweeted out that the offense sucked or something, and he like just stared straight at me. And I had been tweeting something out of my phone, so I was like, what's going on? And then I like looked up and Brent's just like
stared.
I mean, it was eye to eye like for like a few seconds, and
you were like wondering what was going on. Like,
but if I would have known, I would have been like, I did tweet the offense sucked, Brent, because I'm a truth teller.
Brace the rudders! Raise the sails! Raise the sails!
Captain, an unidentified ship is approaching. Over.
Roger. Wait, is that an enterprise sales solution?
Reach sales professionals, not professional sailors. With LinkedIn ads, you can target the right people by industry, job title, and more. We'll even give you a $100 credit on your next campaign. Get started today at linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply.
The Jack Welch Management Institute at Strayer University helps you go from, I know the way, to I've arrived with our top 10 ranked online MBA. Gain skills you can learn today and apply tomorrow. Get ready to go from make it happen to made it happen and keep striving. Visit strayer.edu/Jack Welch MBA to learn more. Strayer University is certified to operate in Virginia by Chev and has many campuses, including at 2121 15th Street North in Arlington, Virginia.
Because John Mateer went 3-and-out on his first series.
Yes. But yeah.
But no, I mean, just defensively, you could tell he was fairly happy. I mean, with what he saw tonight.
He was, but he also called his defensive tackles soft, didn't he? Like right off the bat.
Yeah, and I think that's a little bit of. And I don't know if they were soft.
But they didn't have. They were getting rid of the ball really fast on purpose. I mean, they knew that they couldn't handle the pressure up front. I think the runs though that the quarterback had. I mean, there was one run early where. I'm sorry, George, but Owen Heineke just got blown out of the box, and
he did.
Went for a long one, but those were few and far between.
Yeah, and next week's the test, right?
Oh,
like,
God, yeah.
Michigan has a great offensive line.
They're
they have a
coming
good offensive line, I guess you could say.
quarters.
Yeah, they're going to be coming downhill, and it's going to be the ultimate test for this defense. Are you really the group that I think a lot of people envision them to be? And I thought that, from just an overall standpoint, after the Tommy Rittenhouse kid got hurt, it was kind of like, okay, they might not score. Obviously, they scored with the interception, but at the same time, kudos to the defense for coming up with a stop there in that moment to make them kick the field goal. And I'm very excited about seeing this thing kind of come to life next week. And Cortland Guillory played well, too. I thought he was
getting
really
ready to
good.
say, if we were going to make a list of defensive guys that we check, he's good, Cortland Guillory's near the top of that list.
Yes. I would also say Samuel Masigo just because he had a career high 8 tackles today, led the team in tackles. I thought Kobe McKenzie played pretty well, even though his stat box, the 4 tackles, might not tell you that.
Michael Boganowski got the start, right?
Yeah,
he did.
Michael Boganowski started on Saturday. quiet night for a lot of defenders, though. Reggie Powers popped a little bit.
Kip Lewis, I think, just rewatching some of the game, I think he missed some assignments in terms of what gap he was supposed to be in. And he definitely had a couple missed tackles as well. But
we'll find out tomorrow on the snap counts, but I think it's really encouraging the number of snaps that Gentry Williams played today.
Yeah, he played a lot. I mean, he and Cortland Giller, I was telling Eddie, I was like, we saw some of Davon Jordan, but that was it. Mm-hmm. Those were the three guys. It was Gentry Williams, Cortland Guillory, and Davon Jordan.
Would love to know what's wrong with Jacoby.
I don't know what his injury is, but I do think he's a little nicked up. I just don't know.
Maybe we're going to put him in that group of did it play tonight, good to go for next week.
Yeah.
I looked up one time, I was like, Morian Robinson is in the game.
Yeah, that was super late.
Yeah.
And he did have a tackle. He had a nice tackle that probably saved him a touchdown.
I did think that even though he was chasing people and not really, he was affecting plays, but I thought I saw some good stuff out of PJ Adeborough tonight. Just being active. He's so long. I mean,
it's hard to miss him.
He can get after people with taking one step when they're like 2 yards away from him.
Yeah,
I did ask Brent, like, what was it like for Kendall Daniels' first night at Cheetah? He seemed to be very happy with how he performed.
I kind of get the feeling if they can get away with it, Kendall Daniels not coming off the field very often.
Well, and he switched to just a straight up linebacker later in the game.
Yeah, George was showing me like they have a three linebackers in at one time.
On third and long, Owen Heineke, you see him making a tackle right now. Owen Heineke and Kendall Daniels kind of are the almost look like the Mike and the Will. I mean, and they're just trying to be versatile. But that was, as we said, Owen Heineke had the one bad play early, but overall, I mean, like he's playing here right now up 21-0.
He played a lot.
Yeah, this is where he and it's 4th and 9. They have he and Daniels on the field at the same time.
Tied for second most tackles on the team with 4.
Shout out.
Jeremiah Newcomb played quite a bit tonight.
Third and long, he was in the game. Reggie Powers came in a lot too. They played a lot of guys in defense. The defense, I'm just not... Look, I think they're going to have some moments, I'm sure, where they face some good offenses and they give up some plays, but...
Sure.
I just don't worry about that group.
Isn't it just kind of messed up how that's the case?
Yeah.
I don't worry about it as much.
That's kind of like what it was. I mean, again, it's like going back to those offenses where you're just like, yeah, they're going to score 50. You don't got to worry about it. 3rd and 10, they'll pick it up.
Yeah, I mean, it was a solid night from the defense. They weren't dominant. They weren't,
Yeah, you'd want more like sacks, or turnovers. But I will say, Illinois State, they didn't really put the ball in harm's way much at all.
No, they were trying to get out of there. They were trying to run the clock and get out.
And like Eddie said, when their quarterback that's their season.
Yeah.
They were like, we got to get the hell out of Norman.
Didn't that happen last year to
I hope he's not hurt for a long time.
Or was it Tulane a few years ago?
Tulane, Temple. Well, that would have been Mensa, right?
See, look at Blaylock on this. The great podcasting here, but it's congested in the middle, and he just pops it outside and can beat everybody on the edge. Like that's why you got it. Like if the offensive line isn't great, you have to have somebody in the backfield that can at least make some guys miss and has some speed on the edge. And Javonte Barnes just isn't that guy.
No,
I'm super infatuated with Torrey Blaylock.
And I don't know if Xavier Robinson is that guy. I think Xavier Robinson has some juice, but he's not.
He's a goal line guy to me.
I thought he played well tonight when he got in late, but he doesn't have the speed that someone like a Blaylock does, or that.
It's very late, and it's been a very long day. Did I see them line up for a tush push at one point today?
Yes, they did, but then they called the timeout. Then they came back out and went for it on 4th down. Another thing that's like concerning that I didn't realize during the game, they were 4 for 10 on 3rd down.
Yeah,
not
it
great.
wasn't great.
Now, on the flip side of that, Illinois State was 1 for 11. I think you can live with the 10%.
Sure. On the flip side of that, OU was horrific and like even worse than like 4 of 10. They would have loved to go 4 of 10 on 3rd down a year ago.
Oh, sure. 100%.
It was good. It was good too. I think it wasn't a raucous crowd today, but it was good to see the seats filled. Like this
the weather was beautiful.
The weather was great, but you could tell it was kind of that crowd. Like a lot of people gave their tickets to their neighbors or probably people at work that always asked them if they could go, and they feel like, I know how that goes growing up. Like, you feel like you do that the first of the season, you can just get that out of the way for the rest of the year. But it did seem kind of like the guest crowd a little bit. Like, I don't know, it wasn't as much. I think a lot of people were there just to see John Mateer and what the offense looked like. And no one really thought that there might have been. I know there was one guy behind me that was demanding Brent Venables be fired when it was like 0-0.
There's a lot of interesting people that sit very close to the field.
There really are. I mean, that was the shocking part of today.
They're a vocal. They're a vocal group.
They know that their voices can reach the coaches.
They're a vocal group.
They want to be heard.
They're good people. They're diehards. I mean, they're absolute diehards. I mean,
you get the same thing. You get the same at Thunder games.
Sure. I mean, they're the same people though that are coming to spring games. They're coming to they're the true fanatics of the program, and that's why OU is such a big power as they are.
The other thing that I noticed from field level, and I've told George this quite a bit, and I sent you guys a picture earlier. After that first touchdown that Mateer ran in, I know you try and get coach ISOs on the sidelines. That's a good time to do it. So I was trying to do the same thing. It was amazing how much conversation was going back and forth between Kevin Wilson and Ben Arbuckle.
That's very interesting.
He is very, very involved. Kevin Wilson.
I know. I want to know like what his role is. Like what exactly, and we'll probably never actually know.
I think it's probably one of those things like, okay, look at that play right there when we are in this set and we send a guy down in the box and he runs outside, like he only has one man to beat, and that's what you want. When you see this look from the defense, that's what you need to do, because the play obviously worked for a touchdown. And here's the other thing: Kevin Wilson with John Mateer as the quarterback. He was the guy that, oh God, what was his name at Northwestern that died?
Randy Hughes? Is it Randy Hughes?
That might have been. But Kevin was his OC, I think. But he goes back to
Randy Walker?
Randy Walker, yes. But he goes back, Kevin does, to Rich Rod. And this goes back, I'm sorry I'm being old guy in the pot. When Rhett Bomar was being recruited, like, Kevin Wilson went down. Jerry Bomar, was that his dad's name?
Yeah.
He went down and installed his offense at. God, we were at that high school.
You got this.
We did a rivals camp at that high school.
Grand
Prairie.
Yes.
South Grand Prairie.
South Grand Prairie. No, I think it was just regular Grand Prairie.
He was just regular Grand Prairie. But he went down there and they were running Kevin Wilson's Northwestern offense. And he was grooming, Rhett Bomar to come in and be able to play that offense. So his background in the quarterback run game is invaluable. And I'm sure my guess would be, George, that's what they're talking about, is running quarterback concepts.
I'm sure they're definitely talking about that. But I bet they're just talking about all sorts of stuff. And that's the part of me that's like, I get it. It was concerning tonight. The run game wasn't great. They've got some problems on the offensive line. I just think that
Mateer's running game was really good for the most part.
I think that the mind behind what they're doing offensively is just better than where they were a year ago.
Oh, yes.
And Arbuckle, and again, I'm not saying they're going to be some high-powered, amazing offense, but he's going to adjust to their strength. And you saw it tonight. Like, they started throwing the ball all over the yard and just attacking the middle. Like, Again, I think that they can find some success with this offense, and they have a good quarterback. They have receivers who are reliable. And you have somebody like Kevin Wilson who has just coached so much football at an extremely high level. To have him on the sideline with a headset on is such a luxury that
he did have a headset on, yeah.
Yeah, that's just so invaluable
for a 29-year-old offensive
or I guess
coordinator.
valuable, not invaluable.
I was so scared when Mateer scored the first touchdown. He went into the
wall
hard.
Yeah.
And that's like the brick part of the wall. There isn't a bunch of padding over there.
Dude, Mateer's built, man.
Yeah.
But still, it was a brick wall.
Yeah.
It was a brick wall. Yeah.
Hey, it's Paris. I love sparkly things, right? Like stars. Duh. And thanks to Hilton and Auto Camp, I just slept under them. Picture me serving looks by the fire outside my luxurious Airstream, making s'mores with the kids, while a national park is our backdrop. The great outdoors meets Hilton hospitality. That's hot. Explore all the new ways to stay at Hilton.com. Hilton for the stay.
Keontae Lewis also got tackled into the wall tonight.
What's Keontae Lewis's size? Because I felt like he looked bigger on
Maybe
the
6'1"
field than I had
6'1". I'm gonna guess 6'1".
He's just long. He's lengthy.
He just catches stuff, man.
6'2", 197.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
They still need. I will say, watching him out there, they still need another big body receiver. They need a Giovanni Gibson. I feel like.
I see what you're saying.
Because when it's just, Keontae's out there with Dion and Isaiah, because Dion and Isaiah are just so small.
That was a great one-handed catch by Dion tonight.
If he doesn't catch that,
that's what sparked
was it
the
going to be
offense,
third
really.
and 10 or something? Like it would have.
Was that on a second down?
Maybe. But I mean,
think
they were backed up.
It might have been on third, Eddie. Can't remember. Again, the hard part about being down on the field.
Second and 10.
Second 10.
Oh, no, that was his touchdown. My bad.
Hold on, I'll find it.
It was the first half. It was on first down. 28 yards.
First down. But, I mean, they're backed up on their own
Lewis
6.
had a 14-yarder right after that. It got them going.
Yeah.
Then, obviously, John ran in.
They sped it up.
Here's
went
one thing that was a little perplexing tonight, given the competition of Illinois State. They were very tight with their wide receiver rotations and no Elijah Thomas.
Yeah, that was interesting. I thought we would see him tonight. And maybe the plan, like I saw some people saying, like, I can't believe they're keeping Mateer in this long and all this stuff. It's like, well, I think that the thought process was offense hasn't really clicked a whole lot. Like, might as well get them as many snaps as possible out here together because there's not another week that you get to prepare, right? Like next week it's do or die.
This is it.
And so I think that the thought process from the coaching staff was like, these are the guys we're going to roll with next week. We might as well get them as much time on the field together as we possibly can.
I feel like, and you kind of hit on this at the very end of our instant reaction, George. This is a massive game next week because everything that you've talked about for the last 7 months about how things are going to be different in year number 4, not saying that the season's over if you lose this game, but in essence, it kind of is because I think it would be one of those gut punches that you're right back to where a lot of people thought you were coming out of that Navy game at the end of the year.
Yeah.
But
it's
if
a massive game.
If you get beat because you were physically inferior to Michigan and they go on and have a good season and you go on and have a good season, it's not out of the realm of possibility that you're not in a playoff chase by the end of it.
If they get beat, I don't think it's because they're not physical enough. I think OU will match the physicality.
You think their offensive line will match the physicality of Michigan's defensive line?
Depends who's playing.
It just depends. I don't know.
The first snap of Jake Michaela
Here's
there.
Blaylock going out right here.
That was the first snap of Jake Michaela in the game. 11-yard run. Good block. I kind of wonder if they're going to start Michaela next week.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
God, look, and I'm one of these guys like don't worry about it, but the politics of it all, like when you just name a guy team captain and he loses his job after the first week, that's
they didn't name him. He got voted on by his teammates.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Did you like the C on the jerseys?
No. The box around
I don't know.
I didn't like
too
that.
big,
And
right?
the C also looked a little weird. They could make it not as it's almost too big.
Overbearing. It's almost like
somebody said that's the NFL.
It did look like the NFL.
But look, we can't complain. They moved the season captains thing.
We're bitching about
it's like
a C on a uniform.
Good for them that
It's
they
different.
decided to do the season captains instead of
I know
week
Gabe
to
was
week.
really super pumped about it. He was talking about it on the sidelines.
I've always wanted, captains to have a C on their jersey. But that one is very large and the font of it doesn't really match with collegiately. I mean, like the NFL, that does look like the NFL C, but I think theirs are because they have the ones and then they have the stars that are embroidered in to count how many years they've been captain.
Mm-hmm.
Which that'd be cool if they did that in college. Anyway.
Probably don't get too many like multi-year captains, do you? In college?
No, it's usually your seniors.
I guess you might in some cases, but
do you guys have any? I mean, are we?
Oh, by the way, the one thing for Michigan next week, they did lose Jay Sean Barham tonight. He got ejected for targeting, so he'll be out the first half of next week's game.
I think Oklahoma should win this game next week.
I don't want to go.
What's the line going to be?
I'm not ready.
What's the line going to be?
Probably like 3.5.
Who?
OU. I think. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but
no.
Michigan didn't exactly have a stellar season opener either. They beat New Mexico 34-17.
Okay, I never saw the final there.
Yeah, Bryce Underwood I think was 21 of 31 and threw for
let him throw that much, huh?
Yeah, and he threw for 200 something yards and 1 touchdown. I just think that this is a game Oklahoma should be able to stop them for the most part, and I just think if Mateer's for real, he should be able to. They should be able to score some points.
Back in the day, this would be one of those games that there would just be no doubt that Brent Venables is going to dial something up, and I'm talking like when he was here for the first time.
But I thought about
shut
this,
his ass down.
I thought about this. Yeah. He did that against Tennessee last year. Like I was like, this is the biggest game for Brent, and I was like, well, I said that about Tennessee. It's like Brent came prepared.
Oh, think about how many opportunities the defense gave them.
They did nothing.
The defense was unbelievable.
Well, think about all the turnovers that they created in the first half, and then somebody just gave them back.
Yeah, so
gave them the ball back.
I think that the defense will be ready.
Javonte Barnes is just shuffling his way to the outside.
We can talk about it. We're going to talk about it all week, so I don't want to get too into it. But
I'm excited. This is going to be a fun week.
They got to figure out a way to at least run the ball somewhat decent.
Yeah.
So,
and if we're back here next week talking about them not being able to run the football without somebody like a Jaden Knott, without Michael Fasusi, without a bunch of guys, then I will give us the permissions to lose our fucking minds.
I would love it if Jaden Knott comes out and plays the most snaps, and then DeMarco Murray just flashes double birds at everyone as he leaves the field and they win.
That'd be great. I just don't know
maybe
if that's
like
going to be
Jim
the
Nagy
case.
would do it right next to him.
The thing about it is I just don't know if that's going to be the case.
I was wondering today, like, does the personnel department, like, are they on the sidelines? And then I saw Taylor Redd was on the sideline.
Yeah,
so
they're down there. Nagy was down there.
I didn't know if it was like a Billy Bean situation where he's afraid to like watch the game.
Are you guys out on Arch Manning?
No,
I didn't see enough of it today. I mean,
he's hot take, and nobody will hear this, but he's gonna be fine.
I agree.
They were playing a damn good defense.
I do think it's a little bit concerning, though, and we talked about this during the live show, but that offensive line thing with Texas, I think, is going to take it's going to take a minute to figure out.
It's a problem, and I think for Arch, it's unfair. It's so unfair the amount of attention he's gotten.
Oh, everybody!
That's his first big start. It was at the Horseshoe. I mean,
it's just one of those things where it's like
I think
the
Texas
expectations were way too high.
I think Texas is going to be fine.
Were you?
The team that's shit down their leg and should be completely worried about the direction of everything right now.
Roll Tide.
Kalen DeBoer in Alabama. That's embarrassing.
Wow.
That seat is very warm.
They got their. We didn't watch a whole lot of it.
Their quarterback talked shit during the offseason.
I watched a good amount of it up in the press box.
Yeah,
it was
Castellanos or whatever.
It was bad. They kind of got their shit kicked in by Florida State.
It was bad.
Castellanos had 78 yards on the ground, 152 through the air. Ty Simpson, 23 of 43, 254, 2 touchdowns.
Wait, give me that line again.
23 of 43, 254, 2 touchdowns, 5.9.
It's a lot of passes.
A good chunk of that came late in the game.
Carey, they were down, 24-7 or 17-7?
Yeah, they were down big.
Almost immediately.
Yeah. A lot of the yardage came late in the game.
Shout out Gavin Sawchuk. Six carries, 28 yards for the Noles. Touchdown, yeah. I think it was the touchdown that put the icing on top of the cake.
Look, Gavin Sawchuk, he's a good running back. He's just a different type of running back.
I feel like that's the exact same thing we say about Javonte Barnes.
No, Javonte Barnes, like Gavin, just he's patient, but he makes good. He has vision. It's just with that offensive line as bad as it was, he couldn't stand back there. You have to find a hole as fast as you can.
What a big win for Mike Norvell after last year, too.
All the money they've dumped into NIL, too.
It's embarrassing for Alabama. I will make a point of it probably on Monday. I don't know if they'll be doing radio down there, but I will make a point of it to be listening to some Birmingham radio stations.
I bet Feinbaum will be pretty good all week.
I mean, these Alabama people,
I mean,
they're going to
between Alabama and Arch, like he's gonna mess with some really big fan bases.
Alabama has 2 weeks
off. They're off next week.
Well, no.
Oh.
They play Louisiana Monroe next week. Then they play Wisconsin in Tuscaloosa.
Oh, what happened?
Then they have a bye week, the 20th. The 27th, though, OU's bye week. Same weekend as the Ryder Cup. They play Georgia at Georgia.
Ooh, what happened to Levy today? How'd that finish off?
They ended up winning by
they pulled
what was the final
20 or something.
Oh, did they really? I didn't realize they pulled away.
No. They won by 20. I think.
Okay.
So they pulled away. It was a good first day.
Good first weekend. We got more tomorrow or today, I guess officially.
Yeah, 2 games.
I am
South
excited.
Carolina and Virginia Tech, and then the big one on Sunday night, Notre Dame and Miami.
You're not like rushing to the lake after this, are you, George?
Oh no,
okay.
I'm staying here, staying in town. We got too much work to do, and then Monday we have practice on Monday.
There is no Labor Day for people that cover college football.
Kentucky must not have played very well today. They might not be very good.
I saw they struggled.
24-16 over Toledo.
Well, they've got...
hey, there's a lot of people picking Toledo to win that game.
Yeah,
who are the two players
Toledo's
Kentucky has from OU?
J.J. Hester and Seth McGowan.
Oh, yeah.
But I wonder what they ended up finishing
18 for 78 for Seth McGowan on the ground and a touchdown.
That's pretty good.
J.J. Hester did not have a reception.
Yes, he did.
He's not listed.
Well, then the stat box, the live stats were wrong because
Yeah.
it had him as 1 reception, 32 yards, like in the first half.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
Kentucky's quarterback, Zach Calzalda, is that how you say it?
Oh, where's he from?
The A&M kid. Isn't he an A&M kid? He had a glorious day. 10 for 23 for 85 yards and an interception.
What if the SEC...
25.8 QBR.
Is the SEC just not... It's week 1. Never mind. I'm not going to ask this question.
Kentucky has an offensive coordinator problem. They lost what's his name that went.
Well, I
was
think
Baker's guy, and now he's the Jacksonville head coach.
I think it's pretty clear that
Liam Cohen.
the
Liam
writing
Cohen.
on the wall at Kentucky has been known for the last couple of years with Mark Stoops. I mean, the A&M, like, I think he won it out.
Yeah.
Speaking of A&M, they were in a dogfight for a while.
Were they really?
It was like 20-17, pretty late into the third quarter.
Who'd they have?
UTSA and College Station. Austin Simmons, 20 for 31, 341, 3 touchdowns, 63-7 win over Georgia State for Ole Miss.
What was the final?
63-7. Florida won 55-0 over Long Island. Who cares? Georgia won 45-7 over Marshall. And then LSU, the big one over Clemson. And obviously Texas loses.
Bauer Sharp, 2 fumbles.
He got rocked on the first one.
I got a nasty text from a friend that said, "I can't believe you vouched for this guy." Yeah, I did.
I mean, I don't think anybody's saying he's going to win the Mackey Award. I think he's a pretty good, serviceable tight end, though.
Yeah. I think Josh
want
sent
all
us a
the-
text saying he still can't block.
I want all the Jaren Kanak Mackey Award.
Hey, man, at this pace, he's going to have like 1,000-yard season.
It's good to be back.
We're back, and we'll be back
It's
again.
a long day.
Next week. It could be a George special next week if things go really bad. Look at that C. It's so fucking huge. It's not good.
You want my full take on it?
It's overlapping the Air Jordan logo.
Who cares?
I like uniforms, Eddie. And OU has a great uniform. They're fucking it up with that C.
Did UCLA end up losing?
Oh, they were getting trounced.
Oh, yeah.
Boy.
Utah was
I
killing
think they were down by like 30 at one point.
Maybe they should open up the media there.
Yeah. What was the final score of that? Pac-12, right? No, what are they in?
Utah's
What is-
Big 12. They're in the Big 10. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. It is 1:40 in the morning.
Still gotta get this
UCLA, what a bunch of scumbags. 43-10. They got beat. Utah might be pretty good.
43-10.
What were Nico's numbers?
Nico, he must have had a hell of a night. 11 for 22, 136, 1 touchdown, and an interception.
The Aguilar kid for Tennessee played not bad.
Tennessee had a nice win today because I think there was a lot of people that thought maybe Syracuse would go in there.
I was one of them.
They jumped
I
on
thought it'd
him.
be close.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the score in Los Angeles?
73
73-13. Very unbecoming to run up the score against lowly Missouri State. Good win for Washington.
Comment. I tend to get fired when I make comments, or almost fired. All right. That's going to do it. The Eskridge Lexus Podcast. Welcome back, Eskridge fam. See, it is late. I never say that word. Coming up next, RJ Young Show. That's going to do it. We'll be back again 1 week.
That's a deep cut.
1 week for the Michigan game. Stay tuned. We'll let you know, podcast festivities on the North Oval, if we're going to do it or not. We'll have to talk about it a little bit. I know we're all just dying right now. It's been a very long day, but a fun day, and we were happy to be out there and see all you guys. But you know what? I'm going to have to start sleeping until noon on Friday or something. All right, so that'll do it. We'll be back again next week for another edition of the Eskridge Lexus Postgame Podcast right here on Soonerscoop.com.
New season, new chaos in college football.
Let's go! Big stage, big opportunity.
This Labor Day weekend, the wildness lives on ABC, ESPN, and the all-new ESPN app.
What a way to start!
Featuring top 10 teams like Clemson, Notre Dame, Alabama, and LSU, and Bill Belichick's debut at North Carolina.
It's so special when these teams collide.
Don't miss a lineup filled with electric matchups.
Welcome back to college football.
Kickoff week presented by Modelo. Labor Day weekend on ESPN and ABC. Also available to stream on the all-new ESPN app.